I'm live. Good morning. How are you doing out there, world? Hope everybody is in good health and enjoying their weekend. I am. Weekend's starting now, right? It's Friday. TGIF, all that good stuff. So, got, like about 4 minutes until noon when this officially begins. So I'm just going to sit here for about 4 minutes before I start so that people start arriving, right? I have a counter on here that tells me how many people are watching. And so far, it is that many, as in zero, a big zero. So hopefully that will change. The platform that I'm using is called StreamYard. And while it allows me to broadcast live all over the place, it doesn't let many people in, I don't think. Oops, somebody just joined us. I don't think it lets many people in. I think on StreamYard's platform, you can only have um, 10 people or something like that. So if I wanted to attract a large group of people, um, I'd have to do it just going through Facebook or YouTube, and then I'm limited as to how many people I can have. So crazy, but doable anyway. So with StreamYard here, I'm I'm going out live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So should be interesting to see what kind of response I get. I can tell when people join if they participate in the chat, if they type in. I can tell what platform they're coming from, be it, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. I think maybe YouTube is the one that most people come in from. I don't know if it's people just, trolling the websites or exactly what, but it's interesting. I'm still learning being on my own. Losing Hago was an inconvenience, but they say when one door closes, another door opens. So my door is Rickshaw. Rickshaw Virtual Tours. They're working on getting their app to be able to handle group tours like Hago did, but they're not there yet. Right now, they're launching individual tours, which I think are totally awesome because um, instead of me talking to I don't know who because I can't see, and you hearing me talk, but you could only respond by typing, Rickshaw uses the Zoom kind of platform so I can see you. You can see me. We can hear each other and speak to each other in real time. Um, the other thing, the other great advantages about that, besides what I just said, are the fact that you control where we go. You're it's a one-on-one. So I'm going to streamline the tour for you. You tell me what you want. Oh, and the other thing is, again, unlike Hago, you don't look for a tour that's already scheduled. You request a tour and it gets scheduled when you want it. Okay. So it's very, very it's a lot more personalized and interactive. Okay. There is a fee charge for it, but it's like $15. And then if you complete a survey afterwards about yours truly, I suppose, they'll give you $10 back. So $5. You get to, have my company for as long as you like. So that should be interesting anyway. So it's 12:01, and if no one has joined me live, that's okay, because the beauty of what I'm doing right now with StreamYard is that I can keep copies of what I do, and you can see the reruns. Anybody can see my tours even after I'm finished, but not necessarily live. You can find them on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, and you can watch them anytime, which is a cool thing. I think that we didn't have that with Hago. So, learning new things, new territory, all of the above. Well, it is 12:02, and so I am going to begin. Okay. Chunky knits are something that I've been doing for a while. It's knitting on looms, basically, and I've made all kinds of things with that. Um, I hats, scarves, purses, blankets, shawls, booties, just so many different things. Let your imagination, take you to really cool and creative places. So I got used to working with that thicker yarn. Well, my aunt in Florida uh, called me one day and told me about a blanket that she was making. It was a chunky blanket. And she was using a technique called arm knitting. Well, I just thought that was like so outrageous, so cool. And so I made one. And this this is probably the third one I've made. I made a pretty pink one that I gave my granddaughter for Christmas one year. And I made a beautiful wine colored blanket, which I gave to my brother and sister in law when they moved into their new home. And this one I made for me. And you can see see how open the weave is? Well, that's because that's how open I wanted the weave to be. You can do it tighter. You can pull it tight. The tension is up to you. Now this thing is ginormous. I'm sitting on the floor, by the way, on the pillow, because it'll be easier for me to show you how to do this. But I just want you to see how humongous this is. This blanket covers my queen size bed easily. Okay. It takes 5 skeins of yarn, of which this would be one. Okay, this is the yarn that I use. Let's see. It's Mainstays. It's called Chanel Chunky Yarn. And they have a bulk rating. And hang on, this one is 6. Super bulky. Right there. Oops. Number 6. So let me show you this again. You can take a screenshot and you'll know right what to get. Okay. And then here's the other particulars. Okay. So it's a very, very thick yarn, as you can see. Now, one of these, I was experimenting. One of these made this, this one long thing that, I don't know, it could be a super, super bulky, warm scarf. Or, let's see. Oh, it stretches too, by the way. So see this, okay. This is pulled tight. Okay, I pulled it tight. So, this is what it looks like, a nice round, very big, bulky scarf. Okay, now if I pull it open like this, pull it open, see it opening up. This is opening way up. Check it out. Yes, indeed. Okay. So it opens up, and now you've got yourself like, a nice little wrap, right? Look at that. Ta-da. So anyway, this was just me playing, okay? But you want to know how to make these blankets. And as I said, it's called arm knitting. And I think I'm going to move you over here. Oops. Don't be crooked now. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, there we go. All right, and put you down. Oh, yeah, here we go. Cool beans. All right, this is good, I think. Yes. Dorley, if you're out there watching this on replay or whatever, I did this for you. I think you asked about if I was going to do something about the blankets, if I was going to show something. So yeah, here's me doing that. Okay, so what I've done was make a loop, a knot, okay, like you would start off anything. This technique, I warn you, is so simple, you won't believe it. Okay, all right, so here I have my loop, right? I'm trying to figure out how to get this to you. Oh, here we go. Okay. It's what I'm looking at is reversed from what I'm doing. I don't know why it's like that. I don't think Hega was like that, but anyway, okay, so here's my loop, right? All right, so I'm going to pull a loop through, okay, here, pulling the loop through. And you want to try to keep your loops loose loops. You want to keep them loose because when you come back to do another row, you're going to be pulling them through. And you want to keep it all uniform as much as you can. Okay, so see, got a nice little thing going there. And I'm making a chain in case you haven't guessed that part. Okay, so I'm just making this chain. And usually I would do something like this when I did mine. I always do this while I'm watching television. It's like busy work. It gives my hands something to do, right? Okay. I'm pulling through. On the new platform Rickshaw virtual tours that I was saying in the beginning of this live stream, I'm going to be offering like this, okay, on Rickshaw also, and it'd be a one-on-one, like as I said earlier, I'd be looking at you, I'd be talking at you, you'd be looking at me, you'd be talking to me back and forth. And so I'm going to do like this, and also my hats, the chunky hats and scarves, and I can do them by request on Rickshaw. And it'll be just a fee of $5 to get one-on-one personal instruction. Okay, like having I don't know, well, it is not like having, it is having an instructor all to yourself. Yes, indeed. So anyway, Rickshaw has an app, it's free to download. The link is posted all over my social media. And then there's a website that you go to. You set up yourself a little account, and you're confronted with a map. The first thing you see is a world map, and you're able. The map is going to show you. It's going to have like little dots, and it'll show you where there are guides available doing tours. And so you find them on the map. Like, for instance, for me, you'll find me a little dad there, me in Maryland, okay, on the U.S. East Coast. Or if you don't want, and you can also, okay, and you can also view the information by map or also list. It can also be a list form. And if you're looking for a particular guide and you don't know exactly where they are, you can search, just a simple search, and it'll pop right up for you. So it's very simple. And then once you get into Rickshaw and into the guide's profile, in this case mine, okay, my profile, then you go in and you request a tour, and you tell me, you type in what it is you want, when, date and time, and all of that. Then I get back to you and confirm or adjust or whatever the case may need. Okay. It's all very, very flexible. So that's a good thing. And let's see what else. So then you find out that, and then, like I said, I get back to you. And then if we agree, the tour gets, I'll confirm it in the system. And I will, on the day of, what will happen is you'll get a call, your phone will start ringing. And when you pick it up at the appointed time, you will see me. I will be there. So it's kind of cool. I think it's a really cool concept. I really like the one-on-one kind of thing. Especially for me as a guide to really be able to see the people that I've been talking to forever, right? Okay, so here we are. I've made a pretty good chain. It's up to you how big you want it. The white one that I did, I think, was 25. I did 25 loops across. Okay. And yeah, I think a normal, because I wanted it wide for my queen size bed, I think the average that people do is 20 across. So I don't even know how many I did. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, I did a few. 20, 21. Okay, I did a lot. But that's okay. And you know what? I'm going to actually take some of these out and go back to where here's a knot where this was tied together. So I'm going to go back to that point so I can disguise it well, right? Okay, now here we go with our second row of loops, okay? So, and it's real easy. We're just going to go like that. Hello. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see here. Ugh, okay. I want it to be more even Steven, right? I want to open these up more too so I can do the loops in them, right? Okay. All right. So notice we're kind of moving this way, right? Okay. Okay, watch. Okay, here's our second loop going through the second loop, right? And here's this one coming through. Now, initially we were making a chain, okay? And here's your chain. And now we're starting rows. The chain was our first row, okay? Let's see, I want to make this loop a little tighter. And see, you can adjust too along the way. Okay, let's put this over here. Also, I find that if you keep yourself, if you unwind it, oops, if you unwind it, it helps keeping the tension and the size of your loops uniform. Okay. So that way you're not, tugging on it. You're just lightly pulling it through. No muss, no fuss. Easy peasy. Ta-da. And here I'm just going through each of those first row loops. Right there. Very simple to work it through. As you can see, can you see? Hopefully you guys are seeing this just fine. Yes, so glad. Okay. All right. Okay. I want to finish this row, and then I can go back and show you another row starting. And basically, you just make as many rows as you want your blanket to be, right? Oops. Yeah, as many rows as you want it to be. You just keep going. 5 skeins, it depends. I did 5 skeins on all the blankets that I've done. Whoops, what did I do? All the blankets that I've done with 5 skeins. And some were different than others, some were wider, some were longer, but it really actually doesn't matter too much because they stretch. You can pull it longer, you can pull it wider, however you want. Last time I looked, and it was a while ago, I've been doing these for a couple years, so it was at least back in 2020. Department stores were selling these blankets for $85 a pop. They had them, they display them and sell them just folded into a big square with a big old thick ribbon tied around them. So $85. So the 5 skeins of this super bulky yarn, you can find it on sale. Okay. This these that I have here, the 5, where I go to get them, it cost me approximately $55 to make this this blanket. So it's a good savings from the 85 in the store. And of course, they may be more now, or well, they might be less now too. We don't know. Oh, did we miss a loop? We sure did. Okay. It's better to find that now than later. For sure. Okay. Pretty good. But it's really simple. And, you know, look at this. No tools required, right? Not a one. We're almost at the end of row number 2. So easy, right? And you see how easy it is for me to pull these loops through. That comes from not pulling them tight to start with. Makes your life just a tad easier, right? Okay, and I'll do one last one here as well. Okay. So here you've got another set of loops. Okay. I just usually go through and make sure they're, you know, pretty uniform. You know, like the same type of loop, because sometimes when you go from one end to the other, there's a discrepancy, believe it or not. Okay, so, all right, here comes row number 3. There it is, and we're going to pull it through, just like that. And I think we can put this over on this side now. Okay, nice and loose. Thank you very much. Loosey goosey. Okay. All right, and here we are pulling loops. It's funny, there was a movie, and I can't think of the name of it now, but it was it had a song, kind of like a theme song, and it was an Irish movie, and the theme song about it was we'll all come together to pull um, something, to pull flowers from the heather or whatever. And so every time I do one of these, at some point, I think about, yeah, we're pulling loops like you pull the heather or whatever it was in that song, whatever the line was. Now I'm going to have to go find out because I've forgotten. Oh, well. Oops. Okay. So here's what we're looking at. And just rolling along we go. Just like so. So it's not a difficult process at all. Here's where you're looking like. I guess this is probably the would be the front side. The thing, there is one real caution that I want to tell you about, and that is be careful that you don't miss a loop or drop a stitch. These are actually stitches, I suppose. It's easy enough to go back and fix, but it's time consuming. Just when you think you're rolling along and you and you go back doing the next row and you see you've missed one from the previous row. It's like, oh man, how do I fix that? Yes, indeed. Oh, Okay, so how did this get tangled? Huh. Okay. And we'll just finish off row number 3, and then I'll show you how to end it. And I'll show you what the end looks like on my blanket as well, so you'll get the whole picture. Okay. All right, so we can pretend that this is the last row. Okay, here's your last loop. There's that tangle that not have to fix later. Get it out of my way though. We're going down the line there. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, so the way you end it is like so. You take your leftover, your yarn, continuing. Oh shoot, I just put a knot in it. That's all right. Ah, there it went. The whole shebang. Just shabonged. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, or what I would do, is measure this out. Make sure you cut it off 1.5 times the length. Okay. You make sure you cut it off 1.5 times the length. I'm not going to cut this because it just is wasteful, really. I don't want to have to knot them together. So how you finish it, you have that piece that's 1.5 times the length of your blanket, and you just take that piece by the end of it, right at the end, and you just kind of weave it through like each hole, okay, each empty loop, right? You weave it through, okay, all the way through. I'll show you on this what it looks like. Okay, so where am I? Okay, that is the end. Da 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 da. It's around here someplace. There it is. This is the side that I'm looking for. Okay, this is how the end looks. I'm showing you from the back side of it. Okay, see, here is here's the piece going through, right? And it's going through each one, see? Just one steady piece that goes through. And then you get to the end and you just tie it off. Okay, but all you did was put that string all the way through. Some string yarn. It's similar to taking the yarn off the looms, basically, because you're running a tail piece through that as well. When you do this, make sure that you keep it the same tension as the other end of the blanket, your starting row. Your starting row looks a bit different, okay? This is the starting row. Okay, so you want to make sure that this row and this row have the same amount of tension. We tend to pull this too tight sometimes. So, make sure you leave it loose enough. And there you have it. Simple, easy. Let me get back up here. And you know what? Let me get off the floor. Oops. Where am I? There I am. Here I am. Okay, so, oh, that window is behind me. Sorry about that. It's probably doing some kind of backlight, right? Of course. Okay, so I guess I can I'll show you some of the other projects that I've done in case this is your first time here with me. So what I'm going to do is well, no, I guess I can leave that there. Never mind. We're gonna, nah, wait a minute. Trying to make up my mind. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Turn this around, the camera. Take my little base off. Okay, let's turn this boat around. Bear with me while I go through the hoops that I need to jump through to turn the camera around, right? There we go. Okay. Oh, goodness me. All right, so these are things. Okay, first of all, let me show you. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, these are the looms that we use. These are round ones. They also are available rectangular shape, so you can do scarves. These are great for hats, and the hats look like this. Okay, that's the smallest tube, little infant hat. And then I have larger adult hats and also ear warmers. Okay, they're like this part of the hat, all done on looms. This shawl is outstanding. I love my shawl. And baby booties are made from the same yarn. We have a purse that is done on the loom, as well as the hats and scarves. And you can vary things depending on the size of your loom. Like, for instance, this is an open weave that's similar to the blanket we were just working on, where this is a more traditional closed weave for a scarf. So it's really a simple process. So probably relatively soon I will, let me come back here, camera, switch, it, blink, there we go. Okay, here we are, get rid of that. Okay, so I will be doing more tours. I love doing these craft tours, and I have some others as well, making little coasters and baby bonnets that can be converted into hankies. They're called the magic hanky, actually. And what else? Church dolls, little dolls that parents and such used to make for their children in church. They were made out of cloth so that if they fell or were dropped or thrown, they wouldn't make any noise. They would be silent. Anywho, so again, please, please, please follow me on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. And please download the Rickshaw app and hook up with me and get a private tour going on. That would be pretty cool, I do believe. Okay. So anyway, I will say, hey, bye, what have you. And those of you that are looking at it after the live feed, that is just so cool. That's another thing we didn't have with Hago, right? The ability to see it afterwards. So, all right. Y'all have a great weekend, TGIF and all of that. See ya.